Namaskara. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. The play starts with Ramana Avatara, Raghukula Somana Avatara. The song clipping go. We will obviously play the recorded song go. The narrator starts. Raja Dasharatha of Raghukula, the Sun dynasty, has 4 sons, Prince Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. 4 princes grew up to be brave and handsome princes. The oldest of the lot, Rama, is married to beautiful Sita. Rama, Lakshmana with Sita are standing. Kaikeyi is in the sides. So Dasharatha is talking to sage Vashishta, and Dasharatha starts. Namaskara Vashishtare, ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ವಯಸ್ಸಾಯಿತು. ನನಗಿನ್ನು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂದಿನ ರಾಜ ಯಾರು? ವಶಿಷ್ಠ. ಅದೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಿರುವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯ ಮಗ ದೇವಾಂಶಿ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನೇ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ, ಅವನೇ ರಾಜನಾಗಲಿ. And Vashishta departs. Enters Kaikeyi. ಕೈಕೇಯಿ, ಏನು? ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಭರತನಿರುವಾಗ ರಾಮನಿಗೆ ಪಟ್ಟವೇ? ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ದಶರಥ, ಏಕೆ? ರಾಮನು ಹಿರಿಯ ಮಗ ಹಾಗೂ ಶಕ್ತಿಶಾಲಿ ಕೂಡ. ಕೈಕೇಯಿ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಯುದ್ಧ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ವರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ನೆನಪಿದೆಯೇ? ಇದೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನನ್ನ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ. 1. ರಾಮ 14 ವರ್ಷ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. 2. ಭರತನೇ ಪಟ್ಟವೇರಬೇಕು. ದಶರಥ collapses onto his throne in agony. ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ಇಂತಹ ಘಾತವಾಯಿತೆ. And he collapses onto his throne. ರಾಮ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಚಿಂತಿಸಬೇಡ, ನಾನು ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ವನವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೀತಾ comes and says, ಪತಿದೇವ, ನಿಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ನಾನೂ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೇನೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ಅಣ್ಣ ಅತ್ತಿಗೆ, ನೀವಿಬ್ಬರು ನನ್ನ ದೇವರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆರಳಿನಂತೆ ನಾನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೇನೆ. Then comes Bharata and he says, ಅಣ್ಣ, ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದ ರಾಜ್ಯ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಡವೇ ಬೇಡ. ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದುಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ನನಗೆ ನೀಡು, ಅದನ್ನು ಸಿಂಹಾಸನದ ಮೇಲಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಬರುವ ತನಕ ಅದನ್ನು ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಾಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. Bharata places Rama's shoes over the throne, falls onto the feet of Rama. Rama touches Dasharatha and Kaikeyi's feet and departs. Dasharatha, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮಗನೇ ರಾಮ, ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿರಲಾರೆ. And he collapses to death. Okay. Then comes scene 2. Narrator. The Vanavasa, the forest dwelling. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita build their hut in the woods of Panchavati and start living there. Rama and Lakshmana help sages and people in the woods by killing demons. They also happen to cut the nose and ears of demon princess Shurpanakha, the sister of Ravana, the absolute king of demons. And in turn, Ravana sends Maricha to abduct Sita. Here comes Maricha, disguised as a beautiful deer. Here enters Maricha. ನಾನು ಜಿಂಕೆ, ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಜಿಂಕೆಯ ವೇಷ ಧರಿಸಿ ರಾಮ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣರನ್ನು ದೂರ ಒಯ್ಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. And he winks his eyes, and he just gets disguised as a deer. We will have to do some makeup trick there. And he starts hopping in front of Sita. And we will play a song, Rama Nodu Chinnada Jinke. And this is the song which apparently Sita sings to Rama. And then after the recorded song, Sita says, Rama, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಜಿಂಕೆ, ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. ರಾಮ, ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ನೀನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕಾವಲಾಗಿ ಇರು, ನಾನು ಆ ಜಿಂಕೆಯನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿದು ತರುತ್ತೇನೆ, ಏನೇ ಆದರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕದಲಬೇಡ. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ಆಗಲಿ ಅಣ್ಣ. Rama goes chasing the deer, the Mayamriga. Narrator. Scheming Maricha tricks Lakshmana by shouting like Rama. So there is a background voice you hear where it says, Oh Lakshmana, Oh Lakshmana, ba kapadu, nanu Rama, ba kapadu. Lakshmana, O Site, ಅದು ರಾಮನ ಸ್ವರ, ಆತ ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಹೋಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೀತೆ, ಇದೋ ನಾನೊಂದು ರೇಖೆಯನ್ನ ಎಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಈ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ರೇಖೆಯನ್ನ ದಾಟ ಕೂಡದು. ಸೀತಾ, ಆಗಲಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ನೀನು ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈಗಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಾ. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. Narrator. As per his plan, Ravana enters the scene to take the revenge by abducting Sita. However, he has to disguise himself as a sannyasi begging for alms. So Ravana sannyasi. Basically, Ravana needs to hide his costume and heads basically with a kavi shawl, just a symbolic representation of a sannyasi. And kavi shawl, he's covering his head and the body. Om bhavati bhiksham dehi, Om bhavati bhiksham dehi. Sita comes out and she crosses the line, that's Lakshmana Rekha, right? And the Ravana takes away his kavi veil. And he drags Sita along and stands on the Pushpaka Vimanam. We will use a table as a Pushpaka Vimanam, as a symbolic Pushpaka Vimanam. They use their Pushpaka Vimanam. And the narrator, thus Ravana flies to his capital Lanka with Sita on his Pushpaka Vimanam. In the meantime, Rama and Lakshmana return and find out that they are tricked. Rama, Site, Site, yalli hode Site? Lakshmana, ayyo attige, yalli hode, ayyo anna, ನಾವು ಮೋಸ ಹೋದೆವು. ರಾಮ, ಹೌದು, ರಾಕ್ಷಸರು ಅವಳನ್ನು ಎಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದರೆ. Brothers collapse again, in sorrow. And then the brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, brothers go in search of Sita, lamenting constantly in the woods of Panchavati. In the meantime, Hanumanta, Sugriva, Angada, and the army of apes dancing around. And we will play a jungle, apes kind of music. Rama, Lakshmana, they enter again. They happen to meet the army of apes. And Sugriva, he already knows Rama, right? So, O Sitapati Rama, Sita yellade yellige teraluttiruve? Rama, Sugriva, ನನ್ನ ಸೀತೆಯನ್ನು ರಾವಣ ಕದ್ದು ಒಯ್ದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಟಾಯುವಿನಿಂದ ತಿಳಿಯಿತು. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ, ರಾವಣನ ಲಂಕೆಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಿದೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ಸೈನ್ಯದ ಸಹಾಯ ಬೇಕು. ಸುಗ್ರೀವ, ರಾಮ, ವಾಲಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಂದು ನೀನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸಿದೆ, ಆ ಉಪಕಾರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಏನನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಲು ಸಿದ್ಧ. ಇದೋ ನನ್ನ ದಂಡನಾಯಕ ಕಪಿಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಹನುಮಂತ ಆಂಜನೇಯ. And here comes Anjaneya and he says, O Rama, ನಮ್ಮ ಸೈನ್ಯಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನೀನೇ ದೇವರು. All the apes, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಪಿಗಳು, they will fall onto the feet of Rama. Then Anjaneya says, O ವಾನರ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಬನ್ನಿ. And they will start, there's a marching music and all the, including Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanumanta, and the Angada, whatever army they have, they all start marching. And the narrator, Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanumanta, and the army of apes march till the ocean. They need to cross the ocean to reach Lanka. Rama, ಹನುಮ, ನೀನೀಗ ಸಮುದ್ರವನ್ನು ಹಾರಿ ಸೀತೆಗೆ ಈ ಉಂಗುರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. Hanuma climbs on the table as if it's a big cliff, right? And then he hesitates. He starts hesitating. Then Rama will have to pump him up. So he says, Kapiraja, Anjaneya, ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಏಕೆ? ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಬಲವಂತ ನೀನು. And we will play a song here, praising Anjaneya, basically, right? So he needs all the praises, available out there to get pumped up. At the end of that song clip, Anjaneya gets pumped up and jumps over from the table over the ocean. We'll have to show that. And then the narrator. Thus Anjaneya reaches Lanka's Ashokavana, where Sita is kept in the captive. Hanumanta. O Sita Mate, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ನಾನು ಹನುಮ, ನನ್ನೊಡೆಯ ರಾಮ. ನಿನಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಉಂಗುರ, ರಾಮನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಲು ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. He gives that ring, and ರಾಮನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಲು ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. And Sita says, ಹೌದೇ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಹನುಮಂತ. And she looks at the ring, ಉಂಗುರವನ್ನೇ ನೋಡುತ್ತಾ, she remembers everything, and she starts crying. In the meantime, Hanuma is throughout this process, he's sitting at the feet of Sita. And while this is happening, enters Ravana. ಯಾವ ಮಂಗನೋ ನೀನು, ಆ ರಾಮ ಕಳಿಸಿರುವ ಕಪಿಯೇ, ಯಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನಿಕರೇ, ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಈ ಮಂಗವನ್ನ. And he himself, and maybe with one more one more person, they tie down the Hanuma. Hanuma escapes with ease. We will have to show that. They act as if they are tying him down. We can use even a small rope or something, and then he easily escapes with ease and starts jumping around, destroys the garden. He starts jumping around, and he acts as if he's destroying things around, and he will start the fire. And the narrator explains, thus Lord Hanumanta sets the whole Lanka on fire and escapes from the island and comes back to Rama with updates. ಹನುಮ, ರಾಮ, ನಾನು ಸೀತೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಬಂದೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಲಂಕೆಗೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಬಂದೆ. ರಾಮ, ಶಹಬ್ಬಾಷ್ ಹನುಮ, ನಾವೀಗ ಸೇತುವೆಯನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಸಮುದ್ರ ದಾಟಿ ಲಂಕೆಯನ್ನ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು. ಸುಗ್ರೀವ, ಕಪಿಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠರೇ, ಬನ್ನಿ, ಬಂಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇತುವೆ ನಿರ್ಮಿಸೋಣ. All start, the whole army, whatever, the 5 people, whoever there, they all start lifting boulders and throwing them into the ocean. That's how they act. And once they keep doing it for a minute or couple of minutes. We'll put a music clip, just to support background music, and then they start again marching music, march on the bridge and attack Lanka, right? And then as soon as they attack, Ravana, ಎಲ್ಲವೋ ರಾಮ, ವಾನರ ಸೈನ್ಯದೊಡನೆ ಲಂಕೆಗೆ ಮುತ್ತಿಗೆಯೇ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಧೈರ್ಯ. While others are fighting with other soldiers of Lanka, Rama and Ravana counter each other. ರಾಮ, ದುಷ್ಟ ರಾವಣ, ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾಪಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂದೇ ಅಂತ್ಯವು. ರಾವಣ, ಎದುರಾಗು. And the Ravana gets killed. There's a battle, and we pretend that Ravana gets killed, and army of the apes scream the victory lap again, and then Sita appears at that point, and Rama, Lakshmana, Sita with Anjaneya on their feet. That we'll make a group photo with Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, and Anjaneya at their feet, and we'll play the Ramayana Mangala Padya, and then we'll end up with the moral of the story, right? So remember this, we have to play around 4 or 5 music clips, and narration and all this together, we have to add some time. So probably we're looking at around 20 minutes of play. If we find kids are more capable of delivering dialogues, we can have more dialogues for them. Thank you very much.